Matt, let's first of all talk about how you came to Jewell. What was the road that brought you to the Cardinals basketball program?
Sure. Out of college, I was worked in business for Enterprise Rent a Car for almost 5 years, and by the time I resigned from that position, I was an area or district manager over a wide variety of locations and a large geographical area. And my wife and I were on a vacation and just shared with her that I wanted to coach and continued to want to coach, and that itch never went away. And she fully supported that venture, and so started to reach out to some contacts and people I knew in basketball and in coaching or former coaches. And Kyle Taylor, the head coach at Covenant College, had worked with Coach Holly for a year, and he recommended Coach Holly in the program. I mentioned that they were going NCAA Division II, stepping up a level, and what a great man and great person Coach Holly was, and what a great program he ran, and recommended a great place for me to get into coaching. So within about 6 weeks, I had resigned my position, driven for an interview. We packed up a moving truck and came up here in early June of last year. We've been here now a year and a half. So that's kind of been the road that took me here to Jewell.
I noticed last night at practice that he gave you, I don't know how much time it was, but he gave you ample time to put in some things and actually work with the team. Is that kind of unusual for assistant coaches to get time just to do their thing with the team?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is my first position. I think a lot of coaches give assistant coaches, especially those programs who are able to fund full-time assistants, ample time to put in some adjustments or things that they see that'll be necessary. What we were doing specifically last night was a scout on Bellarmine, defending national champions, extremely talented, organized, well-coached team. So it's hard to get in all the great things they do in 45 minutes, but we tried. We tried to give our guys a glimpse of what they're about to face, and I'm honored to have that responsibility for Coach Holly. I enjoy watching film. I think I've watched 5 or 6 games of Bellarmine, prepared the best I can for us to have a chance tonight, and I was able to share that with the guys and walk through how I think that we can be successful tonight.
Besides the film breakdown and doing that kind of thing, what are your other responsibilities with the team?
Well, I really kind of have a director of operations / assistant coach role. I'm blessed to be able to be an on-the-floor coach to make adjustments and suggestions to Coach Sutton, great assistant coach who knows the game very well, and Coach Holly, who his record speaks for himself. I'm honored to be able to be an on-the-floor coach with those guys and make suggestions and things that I see, but I also enjoy the recruiting aspect. I take on a bulk of the recruiting responsibility. I really enjoy getting to know young men around the country or junior college players or transfers, and I'm heavily involved in the recruiting process, and then just all the day-to-day tasks, the scheduling, the operations, in the midst of battling all the things that I'm doing off the court. I'm also a substitute teacher to supplement some income and things, and it's challenging. But again, my main roles during the season are to watch a lot of film and to prepare the scouting, Coach Sutton, and then we'll talk about how to defend. I'll just learn everything I can about the opponent, and then of course we're recruiting very hard to as we make this step up to NCAA Division II. It's a Division I league basically, so we've got to find players that can play at this level. But also are Jewell students. I mean, it's one of the best educations in the country. So finding those type of students is a challenge, but it's a challenge I enjoy.
It seems to me, in watching you guys, of course you take it all seriously, but not so seriously minute to minute. I mean, there's a lot of good times. Is that, from an outsider's perspective, accurate?
Absolutely. I think when I took this job, Coach Holly stated that when I came to interview, he talked about his priorities of his program are faith and family first, then education, and then basketball. And so faith and family, we're a family on this team, and we care for each other. Coach Holly cares for his players. Coach isn't trying to just beat these players up mentally, emotionally, physically, and get the best he can out of them. He's going to relate to them, and we're going to connect with our guys. It's my favorite part about coaching is connecting with the players, finding a way to motivate each and every one. They're all different. They're all different personalities. They're all different backgrounds. They're all different upbringings. And so we care for our guys. I don't think any program in the country cares for them more. Not saying we're the best, but we care for our guys just as much as anybody in the country.
Assistant Coach Matt Sligh is our guest. You had a tough time over the last year or so with some health issues. Would you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. In, I guess, late January, early February last year, discovered that I had testicular cancer. As soon as I discovered it, I went to the doctor. Within 3 or 4 days, I had surgery to remove testicle, and I was out. I guess I missed one game and came back pretty painfully for another. So fortunately, it stayed away. And then over the summer, it came back in late July. It comes back in your lymph nodes. So you actually have a form of cancer in your lymph nodes, kind of two different forms of cancer. From there, my journey was 10 weeks of chemotherapy. Included 3 full weeks, 9, 10 hours a day. And then every Friday for 10 weeks, I got treatment. So that's just been the journey. And then I believe it was early October, I found out that I'm 100% in remission. So praise the Lord for that. He was faithful to me. And again, the faith and family of this program, that's very important to me. And my faith in the Lord just really got me through those times. It was very scary, physically painful, emotionally draining, mentally exhausting on myself, my wife, my parents came and supported me. My sister and her husband and their 3 children came and visited me getting treatment. So it was a whole family. We beat it together. It was an amazing time. Looking back on it, I have a greater appreciation really for life than I ever would have had before going through something like that.
And so, if I'm hearing it right, you are at this point 100% free?
Absolutely, 100% in remission. I actually went back for my first blood tests a couple weeks ago, a 3-month checkup, and I'm still 100% clear. I'll go to blood checks every 3 months, and then once a year I'll get a full-body CT scan. Those are things I was doing weekly and monthly before, so I'm relieved to be that, and I actually grew my hair back now. I gave myself my first haircut the other day. My wife and I bought some clippers from Walmart, and I gave myself my first haircut for the first time in 5 months, so that was pretty exciting.
What would you say to people about trying to prevent that or checking, or what have you learned about the disease?
Well, I think our staff has a lot of experience. I guess Coach Holly, maybe 3 years ago, had prostate cancer. He just went and got a check because somebody was bugging him to do it, and he discovered it early. I discovered mine early. In fact, when I discovered mine, and then 3 days later went back to the doctor, the tumor had already grown. So any kind of screening, young guys like me, young guys in the profession coaching testicular cancer, can really spread to your lungs, to your chest, and to your brain if it's not detected. The type of tumor I had, if I would have waited just a month or two, could have been in my chest or possibly in my brain. And you don't know that. Of course, Coach Holly and the prostate exams are, screening and early prevention. You hear all those things and you roll your eyes at it. But let me tell you something, you don't want to have to go through what I went through. And if you can avoid the chemotherapy by catching it early, I fully recommend that.
Matt, thank you. It's been a great interview. Appreciate you taking the time, and best of luck. And, boy, keep that health, where it is, because that's so important.
Thank you very much, Rick. Appreciate it.
And we're back with more in just a moment on the William Jewell College Sports Network.